Alright, well, I'm going to be trying something down a little bit different. Changing the way I film for the new channel, both on Instagram and YouTube. With that being said, appreciate all the likes, follows, comments, questions that come along with this. For anyone who doesn't know, I have done this before, lost the page. Change up how it's done this go around, hopefully make it better, hopefully make content that everybody enjoys, and I'm also going to try to keep everything on a budget. What that budget is going to be will kind of depend on the situation, the item. I don't really want to go into crazy amount of money that puts it out of a lot of people's reach, but however, some stuff may require a little bit more of a budget than what I'm trying to stick to. I'm trying to stick to items in that $20 to $100 range. Some of the stuff may be less, some of the stuff may be more. But as this page grows, hopefully making it back to where I was, the budget can change as well. And with that being said, first thing I have is this pair of fishing pliers. With pretty much everything I've ever reviewed, there is testing done prior to the review. This isn't just an unboxing and review based on my first impressions, which I can do that. But I've had these now for a little bit. Let's say 8 months now, and they're actually not bad. The name of the brand is SAMSFX, SAMSFX. It's an Amazon find. I'll put a link up to them. They're all aluminum, which is really nice. There's multiple brands out there that all basically do the same thing. I believe these were less than $20. They're roughly, they call them their 7-inch plier. They're about 7.5 inches, just short of that, about 19 centimeters. They weigh 4.2 ounces. They're 180 grams. They're all aluminum. They fit in my hand. I have decent sized hands, possibly a little bit larger than average. So sometimes finding a plier that fits not only myself but my boys and the rest of the family. Sometimes it's a little on the larger side for me. Sometimes the stuff that fits them is a little on the smaller side. This seems to have worked out very well. Some of the things that they include, they have a finger choil here, and then they call this the thumb rest. It does have the ability to lock close, so it has a locking device here that closes, locks them shut, which puts it right there to where you can open them when you put your finger down. They have line cutter on the side. The nice thing about these line cutters is they do advertise that they are carbide cutters, and they are replaceable. So they have 2 screws, one for each blade, that allows you to remove them, replace them, if they chip, they break, whatever. I've cut quite a few things with them. They cut braided line, they cut obviously mono, and all the other normal lines. I've actually cut a hook with them as well. So they do have some power. Now, granted, it wasn't a large hook, but it did cut the hook. It comes with a stainless steel spring bearing. So there is a bearing where the spring is. It's very smooth to operate. The jaws are typical of most kind of pliers in the needle nose variety. It does have the tip to get into your lock rings, to change out hooks. If you tie off to a lock ring on any of your top waters or crankbaits, you're able to get into that lock ring, hold it open, remove the hook, remove the lock ring, replace the lock ring, whatever. It does have multiple size sinker crimps. The jaws have the serration at the top and at the bottom. The jaws are actually removable as well. Each jaw has 2 Allen screws in it. I do not know, and I've yet to find replacement jaws for it, but it may be compatible with other brands. Like I said, haven't really looked. Not really for the price, worried about it too much because, once again, they are at a price point to where if they need to be replaced, it's not a huge out-of-pocket expense. Now, like I said, these were, I believe, $19 with some shipping from Amazon, but they just didn't come with the pliers. It also came with this lead, and on this lead, it has a little carabiner clip to your pants, your belt, your backpack. I guess not really. I guess belt loop, excuse me. Belt loop, backpack, whatever. It stretches enough to be used if it is mounted from the hip. The other thing it came with, because I'll remove this, is it came with another retractable style hook with a split ring on it, as well as another metal clip. On this, from the same company, it came with a pair of cutters for your monofilament fluoro line. These will not cut braid. They're not recommended for braid, and I was unable to effectively cut braid. Can you cut the braid? Yes, the braid will cut, but it becomes one of the pinching and tugging actions. Not really a fan of it when I do have the pliers that have the cutters on them. Along with that, has the piece that folds out here. On one side, it has a hook sharpener with a groove. Decent for what it is. Nothing to really brag about, but it does have it. This side is a let's see if I can get that into the camera better for tying where you slide your hook in, tie your knots, pull your hook out. I personally don't use this, have never really had a need for it. The typical knots you tie with this, not knots I traditionally use. But once again, better to have it and not need it than not have it and need it, right? It also has on the very top here, you can see right there on my fingernail, to clean out the eyelets of any hooks or jig heads. I found some of my smaller jig heads often have the powder coating or the paint clogging up the eyelets, and do you need this? Once again, no. I've always traditionally grabbed another hook and just used the hook to pop it through. But once again, you have it. They advertise this part here, this little D-ring for cinching up, for assisting in cinching up knots. Hook your hook through it, pull the line tight, cinch up the knots. Once again, not something I personally use, but it is it's there. So in the package, you get all these items. You get this pull retractable piece with a clip. Typically on the shirts I fish with, Magellan, Columbia, whatever, it has a spot up on your chest. Which can't really see because I have my camera set up, but clip it on there. You have it. Pull it down. Whatever. Nothing fancy, but it is a bonus, and I believe it adds like $1 more to the price. Whereas if you just wanted the pliers, $16, $17, $18. If you want the pliers that have this with it, it's another $1. To me, it's worth it. The second thing, or the third thing that it comes with, is a belt case, or a belt clip case for the pliers. The pliers slide into there. Lock them. They slide into there, and yeah, that's about it. This case is the worst part of the whole purchase. Granted, it comes with it. It's made out of a material they call TPR. It has a 360-degree belt rotation swivel. It's got a reinforcement screw. It's like 55 grams, right around 2 ounces. It does have the spot to clip the pliers to here on the side. It's got a hole in the bottom. It's vented. But it doesn't work very well. And to be quite honest, when I started using these pliers, I was using this case, and this case gave me more of a headache than any other thing I had with me on multiple occasions. The belt, it's pretty flimsy material, which for what it is, it's not really sure what TPR is. I didn't look it up, really didn't care because I don't like it. It's not a Kydex. It's not a hard plastic. It has the feel of rubber with basically the resistance of a leather, if that makes sense. It has a lot of flex in it, a lot of stretch. Obviously, it'll probably retain its shape better than leather because it's not going to shrink. It's not going to expand much. But I would venture to say leather would have been better. Belt clip, the way the belt clip comes and with the flex here, I knocked this off my belt multiple times. It does not retain the pliers. There's no real active retention. It's more of set it and forget it kind of thing. There is nothing in there that actively retains these pliers. Now, you could possibly shove them down in there, out the bottom, and now they're actively retained. But I'm not sure that's how it was designed. When you overlay how it fits, that's a lot further down than kind of how it's molded. So if you really want to shove them down in there, you can get them down there, and they're not going anywhere. They're staying where they're at. But once again, with the strength of the belt clip, if this is on your belt, you're more than likely going to pull it off your belt because this belt clip is, once again, does not appear to be a Kydex, probably some kind of thermoplastic that appears to be injection mold style. But if you're pushing it down that hard, you're not going to be utilizing the belt clip because that's going to come off. That's a guarantee. That being said, I do not like how the tip protrudes out the bottom in this position because the angle, you can see the angle on the tip of the pliers because of that split ring hook at the top. It's more of a point than a traditional needle nose. As far as hook removal, using them, fishing, these things work great. I love them. They're light, they're small, they fit well. I can clip it to my belt loop, put it in my pocket if I don't have belt loops on. There's other ways I have affixed it. I have taken them in the water, fresh and salt water. Just after the salt water, I just gave them a quick rinse in fresh water, and they have held up. They look almost brand new. I have a little bit of defect in the anodization up here towards the top. Appears to be a scratch or something. But for as many times as I've taken them out, they still can almost pass as brand new. I do take care of my stuff, but I'm highly impressed. Well worth the money for just the pliers. Forget the case. I would figure out another way to do it. Put it in your pocket. Keep it connected to a backpack or a bag or whatever. Is the case nice to have. I think the case is irrelevant at this point. I think because of the case, like, this would be the worst part of the purchase. The case adds zero value, in my opinion. It does have a function, and it probably serves someone well. It does not serve me well. And this review is about how it works for me, and the case isn't even an option. This is an added bonus. I like having this. I'm not always walking around with my pliers when me and my boys are fishing. When I say boys, my kids. A lot of times I just have this on me because I'm going back and forth, helping them, they're young, helping them change out lures, helping them change hook sizes and everything else. So just being able to carry this around, walking back and forth on the beach, on the pier, on the banks, in the boat, whatever the case may be, just having this small light works well. I've carried a lot of clippers like this traditionally, especially when I was actively fly fishing often. Changing out flies and everything else, always cutting line. Nice to have this on. So, nice bonus. Like I said, works really well. Excuse me. Works well. This leader does give you enough stretch. Probably, if I was going to guess, 28 to 30 inches worth of stretch, which is typically enough for any way I carry them. Obviously, you can extend it or change it to something else. It's just a split ring down here that you can put on your pliers when you get it. It does come with multiple split rings for whatever. All in all, can't really remember how it was packaged, but it wasn't anything grandiose. It wasn't in the clamshell. I don't believe it came in a box. I believe it came just in a manila kind of bag from Amazon. That being said, if there's anything else y'all want to see, or if there's anything else I may have missed with these, or if anybody has these and wants to leave a comment on their opinions, even if it's not this brand but this style plier, I would love to hear what y'all have. Thanks for watching the video, and like I said, please like, subscribe, follow me, leave comments. I'll be trying to put out something once to twice a week at this point, and any suggestions are very welcome. I do have a lot of products I have been testing. I have some reels. I have a couple knives and some other things. Most everything's going to be dealing with fishing and or hunting. There will be some outdoor stuff. I have a tent and a couple other items on the way that we will get into. The weather right now isn't really conducive for testing that. And when I say that, I want to be at a time of the year where I can try to hit multiple different weather patterns, from rain to cold to the heat. So those are going to take a little bit of time to do the testing, so I can get the review. Today's February 1st. I'm in Central Texas. It is what it is. So please like, follow, share. Once I start accumulating my followers again, I am going to start doing some giveaways on prizes, for not only prizes, but also giving away some of the stuff I've tested, and or sending people the same items that I have tested, depending on obviously how the test goes out and how the stuff is responding to my testing. Right now, none of this stuff's sponsored. It's all out of pocket. So every little bit helps. Appreciate it. Thanks.